I'm the Shining Star, Rick Star, and we're going to be here doing the review for tonight's TLC pay-per-view for 12/15/2013, and, I got a whole bunch of guys here to talk about how much they really thought the pay-per-view sucked. First, over from CWA, he's the Joe. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you, buddy. Yep, and it did suck. Suck with a capital S.
From the West Coast, the Bay Area MVP, known as Will, he was also covering the pay-per-view. Will, how you doing?
After covering for WGS TV, what's up, Billy? How you're at the show? As far as this pay-per-view is concerned, no wonder my back is hurting. I wasn't excited.
And then over from Lance Moss TV, we have the incomparable Lance Moss. Lance, how we doing?
I want my time back.
And then we have the James from the Big Easy. James, what's up?
This has been a 15 TLC match, and Randy wants 1 for 1 in TLCs.
I think you didn't announce him properly. He's James, the Diva's Delight.
Oh, the Diva's Delight. Well, we still haven't officially gotten him a new name, folks. So we used to call him James from Riding on the Bus. We used to give him that. So we're working on a new gimmick. And
his
so
partner's a homeless guy.
Yeah, we're working from the Diva's Delight or the Flavor of the Month. He hasn't figured out which one he likes yet.
And
we're working on
and also they want me to put like an Iron Mike Tenay gimmick too.
Yes, so yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it will be James, the Diva's Delight, Tenay.
Tune in, folks, for that one. Tune in. And of course, we do have a special guest tonight who's usually hanging out with our good friend Jordan, who's also better known as the WWE fan. Jordan, how we doing?
After tonight, I can remember.
Yeah.
Anybody got liquor?
Sure.
Anybody got some liquor?
Believe me, I wish I could have some. I wish I had some weed right about now.
Way ahead of
I'm
you.
out.
The whole pay-per-view, guys, was really lackluster. The main event itself was pretty decent. We did have our own little a breakdowns and predictions show, which we didn't record. We just kind of and I have to admit for myself, I was a lot of the matches I was off. But the main event match, for what it was, I liked it. It was good, but everything else was just very blah and bland. It's Joe. Your thoughts?
You know what? It was like a more expensive Raw. It's like paying for Raw. That's what the feel was. There was no joy. There was no, anything special that will be worth spending money to watch this pay-per-view. I mean, every match was lackluster. There was some excitement during the tag match. The main event was pretty good, but again, it looked like just a glorified Monday Night Raw.
Which match would you honestly have to give if you had to give it, the best match of the night?
Again, and this has been this has been my bunch of predictions. I've been saying the same thing for the past couple of shows, past couple pay-per-views. It has to be the tag team match. Cody Rhodes, Dust, and Goldust, the Real Americans, and Show Mysterio or Big Ray or whatever you want to call them. I think that was the only match that really got me interested because there was so much that could have gone any way, and then they threw that little swerve that they made it as an elimination. I didn't even see that coming.
No, neither did I. I don't think none of us did. So, and that was, I think that made that match a little bit more interesting. So, for what it was, yeah, I guess it was a little bit okay. But again, like you said, it was just basically a glorified Raw. Will, what are your thoughts about this pay-per-view?
I'm just going to be short to the point because, like I said, my back was giving me signals today, and I'm not talking about NFL signals. The best match, I would have to say, it was the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the titles. I mean, that was, I think, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one of the best matches. The worst one, I wish there was a 9mm somewhere in my house. Again, with this Kofi Miz thing, why does creative got thumbs up their asses? I just don't get it.
Because they're people like that.
No, Lance, I mean, seriously, theoretically speaking, we already know Miz is the heel, but then you think about it, you had 1 week this happened, 1 week that happened. So best match, fatal 4-way tag team match, worst match, Kofi Min, yeah. And I would like to give an extra response to the crowd because, I think the crowd really won today. The wrestling matches were so ugh. That's why
Monday
the night
nightish.
Yes, wait till Monday night, Joe. We're gonna get our delight, and not the Divas delight, as Rick gave James his new motto now. But there you go.
And for the record, that wasn't just my motto, so I don't be holding that over my head.
I hold it over everybody else's head too.
Yeah. So we'll move things over to James. James, what were your thoughts?
Really, as I said, this was lackluster. I'm kind of really am surprised that they didn't do a swerve in the TLC match because really a lot of us really thought there was going to be like some screwy swerve during this match, but it never happened.
Yeah, I think there was a couple of times we were saying, "Oh, here it comes," and it just never came.
And I had to kind of agree with what Joe's saying. This is kind of like a glorified Raw, just being a pay-per-view. But the thing is about this pay-per-view is that, when has ever TLC been like a great pay-per-view? And really, what kind of bugs me was that ever since its inception, there was at least one table, one ladders, and like maybe a chairs match. But they didn't have it this year. They only just had the TLC match.
And that's something I think we're going to be talking about a little bit after we get through the reviews. Let's move over to Lance. Lance, your thoughts?
This is the definition of mediocre pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, because at best, 99% of the matches were 2.5 at best. I mean, yeah, you had your crap fest of the Brian White family handicap match. And I hate to say this, match of the night, which just ain't saying much, TLC.
Yeah, and I think again, it's just the Brian match, Wyatt match. The fact that they gave it to Bray Wyatt, why they gave it to that jerk off. I think a lot of us were talking as to why he got the win, why he got the pinfall. He didn't need it. I'm sorry, the guy's a jerk off. The guy's a moron. If they should have given it to anybody on that side for the Wyatts, it should have been Luke Harper, who's truly been the shining star of that group. No pun intended. But, Jordan, what were your thoughts of the pay-per-view?
It was just okay for me, and I guess match of the night is the tag team fatal 4-way elimination match. I have to say.
So that really seems to be the, agreement with most of the people is that the fatal 4-way really seems to be the better, the dark horse of the match because it really seemed to steal the show almost. And it's kind of a shame because everybody was really looking forward to the Orton Cena match. And it wasn't a bad match, TLC match, but it wasn't really an epic TLC match. I think just the outcome was the outcome was just the epic part, so to speak. They were so focused on, what's going to happen afterwards, the aftermath. They're not worried about going through it. I think they were just treading water just to get past it. And I think that's a big mistake.
Rick, if I can chime in real quick, I think the problem with the pay-per-views and why they are such lackluster is because there's too many of them. And then, let's face it, tomorrow you'll see a whole bunch of rematches, which maybe
absolutely.
Titles will change. So I think the problem is that everybody's just basically, in their Raw, you could say Raw or SmackDown mode. So if a pay-per-view comes, nobody's excited. Sure, they'll put on the best of matches they can, but there's no pizzazz. There's nothing that makes it better than a Raw or SmackDown. And that's the problem. That's why all the matches, technically, we've seen them so many times that you get bored of them, and it's kind of predictable. Tonight, since we kind of made all our predictions, they threw in a swerve, says, okay, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to have somebody else. We'll have somebody else win. That's pretty much it. So.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of flip-flops. I mean, I think out of all my predictions, I think I got 2 right, and hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to, cry about it and say, I was wrong. It's the wrestling world. Sometimes you get them all right. Sometimes you get them all wrong. It does happen. But, and sometimes being wrong, sometimes actually not bad. But again, the quality of the matches weren't that great. Sometimes you could get them all right, and you could still see great quality matches. And I was wrong on most of them, but the quality of matches were junk. So there you go, there it is. But now that we got past the actual pay-per-view, there's something that's been I think even James mentioned earlier that this was supposed to be a TLC match, and they were supposed to usually have in the past they've had tables matches, chairs matches, and a ladder match, and then the full-blown TLC match. And if you ask me lately, WWE's been getting very lazy with these themed style matches, and that includes Hell in a Cell. Hell in a Cell would usually have 2 or 3 different Hell in a matches, or sometimes even 2 matches. Now they're just getting down to just 1. It's just why are they doing all these things? Why are they breaking down? I think it's just time to get rid of it. They need to move on and just change all the names. If they want to have a Hell in a Cell match, make it a Hell in a Cell match on a different named pay-per-view. If they want to have a TLC match, have it at a TLC. You know what I mean? Don't have it at TLC.
Can I say something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
What about one pay-per-view that encompasses all those things? Like one TLC match, one Hell in a Cell match, one ladders match, one Money in the Bank match. Make a night of gimmicks and put one pay-per-view that has all these things, and that's it.
If they wanted to do it just once for one match, it would probably work. But I think all the gimmick matches, but like I said, even Extreme Rules is probably getting very, very blah and bland and very, winding it down to just one Extreme Rules match where every other match is going to be a regular match. But, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Kind of like when Night of Champions where every champion's on the line. It could work, it could sell, but again, I'm sure that even then, after a while, WWE would be like, okay, we're faltering here. They'll just be like,
I think it's faltering because there's too many pay-per-views.
There's no doubt there's too many pay-per-views. I mean, there's 13, 14 pay-per-views a year in 12 months. I mean, we've talked about this numerous times on the show and off the show that, that they just need to back off. But they're not gonna. WWE will not do it. They're a money-making business, and they're the biggest ones, so why would they back off? What purpose would they back off? They don't have one. You know what I mean?
If it was me, see, the problem is, I said this many times on the show, and we've even discussed that multiple times in our universe. We talked about everything going too fast. They never slow it down. The problem is they don't let the stories fully develop. It's 1 month of stories, and that's it. And then it comes to pay-per-view. So you only get a couple of Raws, couple of SmackDowns, bam, pay-per-view. And then it's over. I think if they really stretched it, like the old days, stretch it for a couple months, hit a pay-per-view, bam, now everybody's interested, everybody's happy, everybody wants to see it, and then they can't wait for the next pay-per-view. That's how it should be. Right now it's just pay-per-view Raw, pay-per-view Raw. It's and then look at it. Friday night you got the go home show, pay-per-view. Then Raw is rematches. Why buy the pay-per-view if you could just wait for Raw?
Will, Lance, anybody else out here want to chime in and give your thoughts about the themed pay-per-views being a little too much or overdone? Do you guys think that the themed pay-per-views are fine?
Well,
I'll let Lance you go first.
Well, I have thought that however the hell many we got now, 13, 14, 16, who the hell knows, is way too damn much. Well, I personally think you keep the whatever 4 and then you put one in between those. If they want to do that. Other than that, more than that, it's just too damn many.
Well, I'm sorry, MVP, if I'm, go ahead of you.
I want to go last because I got a little bit too much of a temper when I'm going to say. You go ahead. I'll go last.
Well, the thing about, I kind of agree with what Lance's saying, but at the same time, do you really want to do that? Because here's the thing is, the only way you see WWE is going to do that is if they go the way of TNA, and that's cut pay-per-views. They're not going to do that. They're going to try to put pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view every month. All right. I hate the gimmick pay-per-views, though. Don't get me wrong. There is some of the gimmick pay-per-views that should go away. For example, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber should be gone. Money in the Bank. I think Money in the Bank should go back to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Extreme Rules, I kind of am, on the balance for it, but, there's still matches that, majority of the matches have Extreme Rule type stuff.
Extreme Rules can go straight to hell, but I've said that many times. That's just my own personal belief.
Tell us how you really feel, sir.
Yeah.
But, it's just that, WWE is not going to cut down their pay-per-views. Not for anybody.
Exactly.
You know what? Let me throw this to the panel here. Would it mean more? Would it be worth the price for a pay-per-view if the pay-per-views were cut back and you didn't expect anything to, you didn't know what was going on till the actual pay-per-view hit? Have the build-up matches, but nothing really, you keep the guys separated for a while, then come back.
You mean like the old days?
Like the old days. And then when you hit the pay-per-view, it was worth the money. Because now you get to see these guys in either a steel cage match, a hardcore match.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
I'm going to be honest with you on that one. I kind of disagree. I like the fact that they're in each other's face. I like how the story builds, but the problem, like you said, I think sometimes the story goes a little too fast.
Yeah.
There's too fast, and then there's too slow. And there's you got to have a kind of somewhere. You got to meet somewhere in the middle, and that's the problem. Right now, they're just going way too fast.
Yeah, because some of the pay-per-views is the ones in October. You only got 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's asinine.
Exactly, and that was bad. And I think they're doing one in June. It's separated between 2 weeks, which is really bad.
Yeah.
And also the fact that you got a point, Rick. Too fast, too slow. If you do 4 pay-per-views a month, like how TNA is basically doing.
4 pay-per-views a month.
But then
4 pay-per-views a year, man.
4 pay-per-views a year. Sorry, 4 pay-per-views a year. I'm sorry for not.
As I'm raising my hand here, everybody forget about me.
Will, okay, Will, on you.
Bunch
Yep,
of time livestock some bitches.
Go ahead.
To answer your first question about the theme pay-per-views, Rick, I kind of think it's a little atrocious to go so far with what they're doing. And throughout the last 2-3 years, I've noticed that they only recycle so many theme of the pay-per-views, and then later on we get all these new titled names, and the themes are kind of, I can't really say lucrative, but at the same time, it's like their profit is only for their pocket. For the audience, it's okay, we're here, show us something. But, you're going to get tempers from the crowd, and everybody's going to be in an uproar, what the hell is this? And, there's too many theme pay-per-views. I liked the format back in the early 90s when it was simple, and, the writers weren't doing too much, Just back then, it was simple. Now we're going on 2014. Look at everything we looked at now. I think it's a circus. Now, to chime in what Joe said, I only got 5 words to say. It only benefits the pocket. Why do I say that? Simple. It's because we can be fans, we can be writers, we can be anything we like about wrestling, but at the end of the day, You got corporate, you got these executives, just having their little smiles and grins, and whatever benefits them is going to benefit their checkbook and merchandise, etc. So just to put both together, shit pay-per-view, it's corporate greed, get the shotgun, let's move on, because that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think we lost Lance here.
Lance died out the call because I said shotgun. I didn't mean to shoot Lance. I had to chime in what Joe and Rick said.
And then,
I think that it was the pay-per-view that put him finally to sleep.
No, I didn't touch nothing.
You didn't touch nothing?
Anyway, welcome back, Lance. But
can I bring up another point?
Sure, go ahead.
As you were going too fast, too slow. If they do 4 pay-per-views a year, as I was trying to say, the storyline is gonna go so slow, and then you're gonna be like, when is this storyline gonna end?
And I think, if they had just given it, just cut down a couple of pay-per-views, not a lot, but like maybe, I think, like I said, if they have right now, if they have 14 pay-per-views, if they cut it down to maybe 10 or even 8 pay-per-views, it probably wouldn't be so bad, But again, the WWE is just not going to do it. Why? Because I think Will said it perfectly. It's all about the money. It's all about putting money in their pocket. Nothing less. Nothing more, guys. As far as the themed, why they're theming it? Well, every year they got a video game coming out, and they need to, give a reason for people to get all excited about that. So, and all those video pay-per-views are in the game, so you got to think about that. So, what we want now from you and the viewers and subscribers to have your comments. What did you guys think about the TLC pay-per-view? And of course, what do you guys think about the themed pay-per-views? Do you guys think they're, getting out of style, or do you think they're just fine and you don't know what the fuck we're talking about? So be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Make sure you like and follow us here on youtube.com/HWR show. Joe, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at?
You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com at classicwrestlingassociation.com. You can also find us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling CWA, excuse me. You can find us on YouTube. You can find, that was my daughter in the background. It's at CWA Classic Pro. That's our YouTube channel. You can also, I just want to bring it up too, that we have our Toys for Tots show this Saturday the 21st in our Patterson Arena. You can find all the information at classicwrestlingassociation.com.
Lance, why don't you tell everyone all about Lance Moss TV over at youtube.com?
Album reviews. I do album reviews, NASCAR reviews when it's in season. Wrestling reviews, sometimes wrestling reviews. Q&As, redneck gourmet cooking videos, lists, sometimes whatever else pops into my head. So check it out.
Alright, make sure you guys do that. Jordan, where can everyone find you at?
Okay, it's Jordan Culp, CULP. I do NASCAR reviews and WWE reviews sometimes with Lance.
And then Will, why don't you tell everyone what you got going on over on HWR and WGS TV?
You know the deal. I'll be posting up-to-date articles, funny news, and pictures. Just got through finishing HWR's Face and Heel of the Week. This upcoming Tuesday, I'm going to shock you all with the Face and Heels for this upcoming week. You guys are going to be like, are these guys at Hardcore Wrestling Radio really on crack? No. We just value wrestling and what it's worth, so don't judge us, and we won't judge you. But stay tuned. You'll be shocked.
All right. Stay tuned to get shocked. James, why don't you tell everybody what you got going on over those two great sites?
It's gonna be news, articles, same thing. But I also do the Diva of the Week on the HWR Facebook page. This week we're gonna go to the TNA because I've been in WWE for a while, so let's go to the TNA. Give some knockouts, some love.
All right.
James, let's make sure Joseph nor Lance get their ticket to Dixieland. Let's burn their wallets first.
No,
We're gonna find
we're-
out who
we're-
James Flavor of the Month is.
No, it's gotta be flavor. It's not the theme of the week.
Oh, so it's gonna be the flavor of the week then. Okay, all right. So, and of course, if you ever want to find me, you can check me out on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And always, please subscribe to us over on our YouTube page, and that's youtube.com/HWR Show. So for everyone here, I'm the Shining Star Rick Starr saying we'll see you when we see you. Thank you for listening to this edition of Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Be sure to follow us on our pages, facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio and Spreaker.com/HWR Media, and also on youtube.com/HWR Show. Until the next time, this is Rick Starr saying see you when we see you.